In this short video, we'll be going over the 3D printers that are available in Chai-Hi's Fab Lab in a brief overview. And in other videos, we'll be talking about setting up the printers and actually preparing files for printing. So the three printers we have available in our Fab Lab use a process called fused filament fabrication, or FFF. In other words, they take a long string of plastic filament, melt it, and stick layers of that together to make objects. And we've got a short video of our Airwolf HDR in action here, and you can see the print head moving back and forth in a set pattern to make the print. And what they'll do is they'll print a layer of this object, finish that layer, and the red bed you see there will drop down incrementally, and it'll print another layer on top. And so it builds 3D objects layer by layer by layer. The Airwolf HDR is probably our most capable, but our most frustrating 3D printer to use. It can print with multiple kinds of filament. It has two print heads, so it can print with two colors of plastic or two types of plastic. It has a great ability to use different types of plastic for different functions. So for common objects, we use a plastic called PLA, which is environmentally friendly. We also use ABS, which is a bit stronger, or if we need real high strength files, we can use things like nylon or something called T-glass. It has the most user control. We can speed the printer up and slow it down in the middle of prints as we see printing problems or we're having time issues. We can adjust temperature on the fly if we need to, but because of that, it requires the most kind of in-depth user knowledge. It's the most persnickety printer we have in terms of things having to be just right. So that's one of the cons. It's more complicated to set up. And because it's probably the most flexible, it's also the most troublesome in that things can and do go wrong, and you can ruin a lot of prints. The QuidiX Pro is our newest printer. It's not quite as big as the HDR. It also is a two-head printer. It can print with two kinds of plastic. It's a lot easier to set up. It's 3 years newer. And so they've worked out things like how do we get the printer to set up? How do we get prints off of the print bed? Because that's an issue. It's hard to get them to stick, but once you get them to stick, how do you get them to unstick? And the QuidiX Pro has got some ways to do that. The setup for it, it's easy to level the bed. They've got special little tools to do that. It automatically sets heights. It is less likely to jam and ruin prints, and it's got some fail safes in, so if something happens in the middle, the print isn't necessarily ruined. It's got this cool print bed. You can kind of see it inside the printer there, the blue part. That's a magnetic, flexible plastic bed that you can actually pop out of the printer and flex it to get the prints off. The cons of this printer are it's a little more limited. It can only print with ABS and PLA, and for most prints, that's okay. And there are more limited user options when printing. It's done to make this printer easier to use, and for most uses, that's better, but it comes at the cost of being flexible for unusual plastics or unusual print jobs. Our smallest printer is the DaVinci Mini, and this one has a lot of compromises. It was a very inexpensive printer compared to the others. The DaVinci printer is a $200 to $300 printer, where the things like the Airwolf HDR was a $5,000 printer, and the Quidi printer was about $1,000. So a lot less expensive, but with that comes the cost that the ability to print object sizes is smaller. You're much more limited to the kinds of filament you can use or plastic you can use to just PLA. It has to be connected to the PC. It doesn't work with memory cards or memory sticks. And the other things are things that would be an issue with other kinds of plastics if it could print them. It doesn't have a heated print bed. And so things like PLA and nylon are out of the question as far as printing. It prints with PLA only, and PLA will stick nicely to a not heated print bed. And here it's simply coated with essentially masking tape, and that provides enough stick to get the image to hold. So the steps to 3D printing are, first, you need something to print. And what a lot of people will do is they'll find models in websites like Thingiverse or something like that. You can Google 3D print files and find websites that have them. Some are able to be accessed here at school and some are not. But you download the print file, or you design a print file yourself. And that's a little more advanced for what we're describing here. But if you've designed a file already and you want to print it, then that's great. We've got that ability to do that. The model has to be prepared for the 3D printers. The 3D printers have the capability to print basically is fairly simple, but we have to take this complex three-dimensional model and break it down in a way that the printer can read it. And that process is called slicing it, because essentially what you do is you slice the model into printing layers. So the 3D printer prints a layer, prints it completely, moves the print bed down, prints the next layer. And by stacking these layers makes the object. And slicing the model basically sets up the instructions to print each of these layers. We have both online resources to slice models, and we have software in the Fab Lab that can do this. Online resources like astroprint.com, you can make accounts for that yourself, and you set up the printer you want to use, and it will slice the file, prepare it for you, and give you back the file in a format that the printer can use. We also have software on a PC in the lab that's set for some very difficult kind of prints that you need to make. So you're making a print that has parts that kind of overhang into the air, like a part that has nothing underneath it. And you need something that we call like support plastic, where it's some temporary plastic that's built up underneath to support that kind of overhanging structure. That software is called Simplify 3D, and we keep it on one of the computers in the lab. Because AstroPrint will normally slice the files we need to, and AstroPrint is free, and AstroPrint is available from home. For the Quiddy printer and the Airwolf HDR, you have to load the file that you're going to print on a memory stick or a memory card. The Quiddy printer uses a memory stick. The HDR uses a mini memory card, and they print from that. And the reason for printing from the memory card is that it's less likely for the print to fail if the computer is not involved with it. There are a lot of glitches between the printer and the computer that can happen. Here at school, the problem would be like you've got a file that typically takes hours to print. If you start it late in the afternoon and we get to the end of the day when the computer's automatically shut off, that there's no way around that, and it kills the print file. So by having the files on a memory card that's attached directly to the printer, we eliminate that computer problem. So those two have to be loaded onto a memory stick or a memory card, depending on which printer you're using. The DaVinci Mini only runs off the computer, and so we don't have to worry about that for that particular printer. There's some cautions when you're finding print files or designing print files. You'll find models that are really difficult or impossible to print. We're talking about things like overhangs, or like in this print, the arches in the doorways or something like that. There are a lot of 3D prints out there that have these overhanging parts that have nothing underneath them. And the way the 3D printer works is to print onto a bed where it sticks, and then to print the next layer on top and stick it to that. You can, with some success, print arch shapes. So circles are possible to print in the archways like in this boat, but big flat overhangs are difficult. And so there is a a problem printing some things that you can easily design. The little benchy boat here is a file that's done to troubleshoot print files, to troubleshoot what's going on with your printer too, and it helps you fine tune the printer. It's a little file that has some components to it that are hard to print, notably the archways and the overhanging parts like the bow of the ship or the top of the square door and things like that. So the caution is just because you can find the file and you can see the file, it doesn't mean it will print, and or it may be difficult to print. And the benchy, just to show you an example of the model at the top and the real world print at the bottom, show you that what you get might not be what you put in. The benchy model on the bottom, I've seen better, but it's not terrible. There are some really bad ones that happen, and the printer's not quite set up. But just overall, understand that very intricate little parts, that a lot of the detail that looks really, really cool in design might not be printable or might be very difficult to print. And things that overhang underneath without anything underneath them may need some support plastic, which is a whole different thing, a whole different level of setup, or they might not be able to be printed at all, just so you understand that. We have other videos available. This was just an introduction, but if you're wondering about how to find or make 3D models to print, we have a video for that. We have videos for using astroprint.com, the website, to slice files and to use Simplify 3D. We also have videos for setup of each of the 3D printers in the Fab Lab, and we'll have links to troubleshooting printing problems when things go wrong.